Real snow is right around the corner. Well, it just happened. But it's right around the corner. It's coming up this weekend too. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about real snow and some Tartiflette Games news. That's right. We have some new, news for you coming up right here in STEEPCAST, episode 34.
Snowboard's been waxed and the chocolate is hot. STEEPCAST reporting to you live from the top of Mount Blanc. Snow mystery, making you miss me. Cause I'm hucking it up 12, I'll throw it into a misty.
We just had 13 incredible runs from real snow this weekend, so check out that video if you haven't yet. This weekend, Saturday the 29th at 1 p.m., we will have the top 6 finals, and it is still so hard to choose the top 6. But it's not just for Nick and me to choose. We will be joined by our special guest judge. He finished 3rd place in real ski and took home the fan favorite, Sir Cholex.
That's right, all the way from Spain, Sir Cholex is going to be judging each and every run this week leading up to the Real Snow Finals on Saturday. We can't wait to get this video out, and we are so happy that Sir Cholex agreed to join us up in the booth. We do have some more TFG news for you guys, not just about real snow today. We're going to be talking a little more about the overarching format of the Tartiflette Games and how that's going to look moving forward with all of these competitions. We're going to save that piece of news for the main topic, but right now, it's time for the Reddit Roundup!
First up this week from Turn This World, we have extreme trees and an insane parachute pull, just cruising through those evergreens. Wow, I can't believe how close he's getting. And then let's see this parachute pull probably coming up, getting nice and close to the ground, something I can never do. Weaving between some rocks and super slow-mo, smoke flying. His belly's scraping. Wow. His belly was already scraping the snow when he pulled that parachute and comes right to a standing stop. Incredible.
Holy crap. Talk about waiting until the last second. Wow. I was on the edge of my seat for that one. Next up, we have a picture from Mute Wits. Some backcountry moments. I love this blown out exposure, what am I talking about? This blown out saturation up on the mountain. These are colors that we do not see in the game. So, this is a special treat that we're getting this photo edit right now. Love to see these. That second picture right there, just crystal clear as a tall glass of water. Oh my God. Got the beautiful lens flare in there. The high res has to be on a PC. Every time we get a PC screenshot, it blows me away and I have no idea what's going on because my game doesn't look like that. Well done, Mute Wits.
Thirdly, from I Like Guitar, we have another wingsuiting clip. Looks like he's dressed up as a dragon and going through some of the rocks. Whoa! He just went sideways through that gap. I definitely couldn't recreate that either.
Next up, we have a screen grab from our Dilly. Oh, wait, hold on. I can't see it yet. It's loading. What the shit is that? Oh my God. Jeez, oh man, Art Dilly, what are you? Jeez, that is not in the game. That was a true abomination, but well done on the edit. Thank you so much to everyone over there on Reddit providing us with the crispiest of clips every week for the Reddit Roundup. All right, we told you we had some Tartiflette Games news, and we're going to hold up our end of the deal coming up next in the main topic.
We're making some big moves in TFG, and we have finally nailed down the theme for the first TFG Send It. We will be announcing all of those details at the end of our Real Snow Finals.
Well, hey, and speaking of finals, if you guys aren't as stoked as we are for these finals, I have no idea what rock you have been living under. If you have watched all of the same 13 videos that we did, you have to be just chomping at the bit to get started with these finals. I mean, Mitch and I have had one heck of a time with the judging and deciding who is going to make it to these top 6 finals? I mean, seriously, this is the hardest competition that we have had yet to judge. Every single run has been stellar.
The spread is even closer this time compared to Real Ski. Even the person at the bottom of the leaderboard would have been about middle pack during Real Ski. That's how close it is. And the top right now is impossible to pick between. Everyone did so well, some doing better in other categories, so it is going to come down to the decimals yet again.
Yeah, it was really interesting to look at the judging, and we're not going to get too in-depth here. We're going to save that for the STEEPCAST after it premieres this weekend, as always. But the top 2 runs, all I'm going to say is, right now on my sheet, they are in a dead tie for first place. Like, their points are exactly the same. However, their categories are totally different. So one person scored really high in one category and another grabbed a ton of points in a separate category. So every single run has just been lights out, incredible to watch and try to put points to. Really more difficult than anyone gives it credit. I give tons of credit to all of the judges out there in like the X Games and the Olympics that are doing this for a career with like actual people. This is hard.
It's been very hard, and it's looking like that in the fan vote as well. So far, it's just like Real Ski. You have about the same people at the top, but a slightly different order. And this time, every rider has received at least one vote, and not from themselves if you haven't been lying in the name column.
Yeah, I'm not sure if all of this skill came out just because snowboard is the more specific discipline for all of these riders. You know, they have more time on the snowboard, so they have a little more confidence up there getting these tricks, getting these grabs and these huge plants. But I don't know. Real snow is just hitting totally different than Real Ski, and I'm here for it. I mean, I was messaging Mitch all through the live stream last weekend, just texting him every single song. Every single song used was an absolute banger. And for a music student, that's all that matters. Just kidding. I was judging on other things, not just the music. All I can say before we get to these top 6 finals is job well done to all 13 of these riders. You all hit it out of the park.
Like Nick said, it's going to be extremely hard to pick who finishes in first place and walks away with TFG Gold.
Yes. And speaking of TFG Gold, we have something new to announce for the Tartiflette Games as a whole. So one of the things that we have been worried about is having 1 or 2 people just capitalize on TFG and absolutely crush everybody else out of the running. You know, so someone, I'm just going to use Mitch as an example here. So say Mitch wins one and then he comes back and he wins a second one and a third one all in a row. Who's going to want to keep watching these videos when they know that Mitch is competing in them yet again? You know that he's going to take it every single time. So, to curb that and to keep all of these competitions as exciting as possible, every rider who achieves a first place seating, every member who walks away with gold, is now going to be receiving a TFG lift ticket. This lift ticket will allow you to compete in the final tournament of champions at the end of the season. When is that going to happen? We don't even know yet. But at the end of the season, when we feel like we have reached the limit for this season of TFG, all of these real events, we are going to come back and invite all of the past winners to compete against one another up on the mountain for the ultimate TFG prize. I think we can give them a t-shirt, right, Mitch?
Well, I think we can manage that t-shirt, but they're gonna have to work for it. This will be a TFG Invitational, so I think it has to be big and it has to be the hardest to win yet. We don't have full details yet, but I'm picturing for the Invitational that they will have to compete in every event again, but a shortened version. So they will have one knuckle huck entry, just one run. They will have one 30-second urban edit. They will have one big air jump. They will have one little slope style feature on the course. And who knows, we might add some more. They might even have to ride a sled.
We've been getting hard into Fall Guys lately, and Fall Mountain, like that end peak to catch that crown, that's what this is going to feel like. Hopefully it's a little harder than Fall Mountain is, though. But the way it's shaping up, the TFG Invitational is set to be the biggest event that Steep has ever seen.
And don't worry if you haven't claimed a gold medal yet, because we will be creating a leaderboard based on all of our previous events that will be in this inaugural season. If you don't happen to win a gold medal, we will still be inviting some of the top riders that have accumulated the most points to come to the Invitational as well. And if you have won a gold medal, this will not stop you from entering our future competitions as the season continues. We will still judge your runs, we will still assign you points, we will still let the people know if you would have finished in first place, but we will just have a separate leaderboard for all of the entrants so far, so you can still compete even though you have already claimed your lift ticket.
We are so super excited to get this underway and to get some more information up on our website. Be sure you're checking nickandmitch.com for all of those updates. Right now, we have the information for TFG Real Street. That's our same competition as this over in Skater XL. You can go check out all the details over there. Check out some of our old videos. It's a fun time, but we will be sure to let you know when we post more information about the TFG Invitational and all of the information about those lift tickets and how competing is going to work after you have claimed yours. See, we had way too much Steep news to just dump all of this out at the front of the video. We had to put it in the middle. We had to give it the time that it deserves. So quick recap before we move on to the weekly challenge here. Get ready for Send It. That information is going to be dropped at the end of the finals video that's coming out this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And in just a little bit, I don't know when we're going to get the website updated, but it'll be up there at some point and we'll let you guys know when all of the information's up there. But we will be sure to do a write-up about the Invitational and the lift tickets and all of this extra junk that we're adding on top of just submit your runs. We are really trying our hardest to make TFG a cornerstone of the Steep community. And as always, we are so happy to have you guys along for the ride. All right, that's enough blubbering. It is time for the weekly challenge.
The topic for this weekly challenge was Steep's funniest videos, harkening back to one of my favorite childhood shows, America's Funniest Home Videos. And our first entry comes from Steepest Legend. Here he is, already crashed and sliding down the mountain. Oh boy, he's starting to shake violently. All right then. That's a little bit of a glitch.
Oops.
That's like some monster you would see in Stranger Things. He's just morphing into this spider creature that's going to take over the mountain and consume anything else that goes down.
Oh my god, that is too great. Look at all the snow marks that it made too. That is too good. And let's see if the next person can beat it. Oh, it's Steepest Legend once again. Coming down here with one of his buddies. Hey, let's get a really cool shot. Just you and me up on the mountain together. All right. Dope. See ya, throwing his buddy into next week. You can't interrupt a good run, guy.
I could picture that exact thing happening if we were skiing on the mountain together, you know, maybe not the flips, but us just weaving back and forth and then one of us cutting the other off and just sending them.
Yeah, it would definitely be a whole lot slower than those guys. I don't think we're going to take on the side of a mountain just yet, but absolutely 100%. It would be me trying to come over to you to tell you, you know, I just pulled off something crazy. I'd end up clipping your skis and throwing you down into the rocks and trees on the side of the hill.
And that crazy thing you'd be pulling off was an on-the-ground 180.
Don't tell them my secrets. That is a patented trick. Come on, man.
For next week, the topic for the weekly challenge will be broken bones, suggested by Steepest Legend. And the following week will be free ride, suggested by Lucas with an O and a K. To enter the weekly challenge, all you have to do is join our Discord with the link down below and head to the weekly challenge channel.
Geez, coming in with all of the submissions this week, the Steepest Legend has a question for us. He would like us to build our perfect burger. Include all of the toppings of your dreams. And go.
Funnily enough, I recorded myself making the Sam Burger hamburger, an inside joke from the first Knuckle Huck competition, back on May 9th, but I still haven't edited it yet. So I don't know the exact topics. I'm looking at a picture right now. It started with a French baguette that was toasted, and then the burger was 50-50 beef and bacon.
Oh my god.
Then we put a sunny side egg on top of that, a little bit more bacon it looks like.
Oh my
some
god.
Chopped up hash browns and like red and green breakfast peppers.
What?
And finally my homemade maple barbecue sauce.
Ah. Dude, come on. That's not fair. You're making your own stuff over there? Come on. Well, I don't think I will be able to top that, but I'm sure gonna try. Mine is going to start out. Now, hold on. I just need to say something before I say my burger. Hamburgers don't exist. It has to be a cheeseburger. Absolutely. I've never eaten a hamburger and said, oh boy, that was a great hamburger. Just meat on a bun. I know that's how it started, but it's just cheeseburgers. That being said, brioche bun, toasted. You gotta get it toasted. Followed by whatever your local grass-fed butcher, grass-fed beef, 100% beef with, I'm building this in my head as we go here. Let's throw some pepper jack cheese on there. It's gonna be spicy. And then on top of that is going to be onion straws. Yeah, let's go with some onion straws and jalapeno poppers, but they are wrapped with a maple bacon. So they're going to be super sweet, playing on all of the spice and the heat that you have in this sandwich. It's going to smack you in the face with a bunch of spice, but then you're going to get all of those sweet notes on top of it. There's nothing I love more than sweet and spicy going together. Simple, easy, 3 toppings: cheese, jalapeno poppers, onion straws.
That sounds good as well. Pretty much any burger is a perfect burger as long as it's got some of those toppings on there.
Amen. Up next, we have a question from Just Steep It. What in-game outfit grinds your gears? Is anyone going to punch me if I make the pun and say steampunk? Get it? Grind gears, steampunk. Oh, okay, all right. I'll show myself out.
If you didn't say that pun, that's exactly where I was going with this question as well, but I can't think of too many. I think the only one that pops off in my head is the Dracula wingsuit. I just love the flying squirrel suit that much better, and I'm not that much of a wingsuiter, so that's probably what I'd pick.
Mine's gonna have to be from Winterfest. The Speedo does nothing for me. I've never used it. I have it, and I see a lot of people on the mountain with the Speedo gear, but just meh. It really doesn't do it for me.
We also got a question from the Legend Bone Crusher saying to rank the air sports. We got paragliding, wingsuit, base jumping, and the rocket wingsuit.
Well, strong number 1 has to be rocket wingsuit. I mean, there's no other air sport that you and I play more than rocket wingsuit. And we're not always in the air. I mean, come to think of it, we're really never in the air. After that, after rocket wingsuit, it's pretty easy for me. I'm going to have to go with wingsuit because you still get the mobility, followed by, I hate these both. Base jumping, I guess, and then paragliding is the last one. I've just never been able to figure out the wind currents. Call me trash, but it's just not my bag.
I'd agree with you on rocket wingsuit being the best because that's how we travel around the mountain a lot and get into head-to-head combat. After that, I'm going to go paragliding. I've been watching a lot of paragliding videos on YouTube recently, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe not necessarily in steep, but I do like to fly around in the paraglider, especially to get some aerial shots for some of our cinematics. Then I would go wingsuit and finally base jumping. I've just never really done the base jumping in the game.
I mean, if we were talking about real life, I would love to base jump 110%. I would love to just yeet myself off of some mountain or a radio tower or something like that and rip a chute whenever I felt like it. I think that would be incredible. But you really can't convey that danger, that energy, that adrenaline in a video game.
We've also got a question from Gnarly Duck asking if we could make a costume for Steep, what would it be?
So do we each have to come up with one, or are we gonna tag team this and try to come up with the Nick and Mitch outfit?
I say we each go for one.
Cool. Okay, so we have a polar bear head already in the game. I want an entire polar bear outfit, a whole costume that's just a massive, like 10-foot tall polar bear. Like Bear in the Big Blue House. Terrifying.
I think what you're looking for is a scare bear.
Yep. And that could be its name, the Scare Bear.
If I'm going for a creative costume, I would go completely unrelated to winter sports and pick probably a hammerhead shark or a whale or a fish or something really weird that just flops around every time you go around a corner, just like that giraffe neck whips back and forth. And then as soon as you get into the air and go for a backflip, the head just weighs you down and you're upside down. It's just like super top heavy.
All I can picture is a humpback whale just barreling down the mountain, uncontrollably sliding on its belly. Eyes are super wide, water spurting out of its blowhole. It passes the other humpback whale skeleton in Alaska, just staring at it like, what? But instead of what, it just says, because it's a whale. I love that idea. Every time it shoves off for a huge jump for some massive air, it has to play the song, and I'm free falling.
It's probably a good thing we're not costume designers.
Yeah, well, we tried when we went to Ubisoft, but they did not like any of these ideas that we pitched them. So YouTube, we'll stay here. This has been an off the rails Q&A. Our final one for the day comes from Nate Hotshot. What sponsor would you like to see in the game that isn't there already? For Nate, it would be Monster Energy because he'd love some black and green themed outfits. I get where you're coming from, but I'm a Red Bull guy and they're already there, so I'm happy.
Well, it sounds like you just read the question and didn't actually answer it. So my sponsor would be Wendy's because they were heavily sponsored during the X Games. We got some funny ads for them, and I would love to just see my character riding back on a chairlift or going up the mountain or stopping at one of those cafes, just chowing down on a Wendy's 4 for 4 with those spicy nugs and the awesome sauce.
My man over here drags me for just leading into the question, and then he brings up the fact that he wants to be shoving a Wendy's Baconator into his food door while he's barreling down the side of an alley. But I guess we'll just let that slide. My sponsor would have to be Oakley. And that comes to no surprise to Mitch because he lived through the phase where I blew every single penny I earned through middle school and high school on Oakley sunglasses and Oakley products. Yeah, it was kind of a financial issue, but we've resolved that. We've moved forward. But needless to say, I would still love to see some killer Oakley products up on the mountain. They have some crazy goggles. They have some crazy sunglasses that you could even wear in lieu of goggles that I think would just look incredible. Like that 90s DLC with some M frames or some other crazy pairs of sunglasses they have. That would just be awesome.
Nick was like the Jay Leno of Oakley. If you rolled over to his house, I think you had a sunglass display stand from the store, didn't you? Where you just had like 12 pairs of Oakleys that you could rotate around and pick based on the day or the weather or how you were feeling that morning.
Oh man, I sent you a Snapchat yesterday that I wore one of my vintage pairs out for like a 10-minute car ride because I hadn't worn them in like 3 years and I was super excited. I was like, man, I got to take the Oakley spikes out for a spin today, and you just sent back the hardest eye roll in the world. And yes, I did have a stand. I went to a eyeglass store or whatever that had an Oakley display stand, asked them to buy it with cash on the spot, and they rolled their eyes. They were so confused with the offer that they just handed me it. It ended up breaking. It could have 3 sunglasses on there. This is a whole different podcast that we could get into, but that we'll save that for a different day.
Well, before we hear about sunglasses for the next half hour, we can wrap this episode, but thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue to watch STEEPCAST or any of our other crazy videos that we have, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We've got more TFG action coming your way this Saturday, July. It's August, Mitch. Come on. I'm still stuck in July. Time is just too confusing right now. This Saturday, August 29th, we have the Real Snow Top 6 Finals featuring special guest Sir Cholex. And then we have Real Street action coming through as well. You can check out the rules and info video on our channel. Submissions will close in mid-September.
Be sure to follow us over on Instagram at NickandMitchYT. And go down below into the description of the video, click all those links, and find out what they do. We'll see you guys this weekend. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see yins on the slopes on Saturday.